What's up, everybody? It's Stock Watch Sunday. It is actually Sunday, October 19th, and it has been, I'm super pumped this week, Fat Man Zoom, for earnings. We got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. We got Tesla earnings, we got Netflix, and we're going to be talking about it all freaking week, and I cannot be more pumped about it.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I just got my Sunday sound check done on IG. So I got my Diva song. Most people don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You saw me dancing.
I was cracking up.
Yeah. So, man, it's going to be a wild week. A lot of lives, a lot of Tesla. Too much Tesla. Is there so much thing as too much Tesla?
Well, not to our viewers. They love the shit out of Tesla. So we're just going to keep talking about it. But there are other earnings this week, and we will be talking about them all week, including tonight. And we are actually going live. Normally, we go live from Tuesdays on Thursdays. This week, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because we do have Tesla, and we'll be giving you our live reaction to Tesla earnings on Wednesday after hours. But nevertheless, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? We got, 160 people hanging out so far already. You guys are fantastic. Hope you guys had a great weekend so far and are pumped for this week as well. What we got on the agenda this week, man?
All right. So we have a lot of earnings. So we're going to do... we're going to talk about Tesla largely for Stock Watch Sunday. Yep. We're going to talk about our top 5 stocks, Fastly, and then 4 earnings. And I don't even want to say top 5 stocks. It's our market predictions for our stocks this week.
Yep.
And then this week we're going live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So make sure you like and subscribe so you get the notifications, and check us out live. And shout out to our Chaos crew, all of our regulars in the house.
Hell yeah, Chaos crew. What up? What up? All right. So
first things first, kick it off.
First things first is Tesla, in fact. Now, the last 4 quarters in a row, Tesla has beat earnings expectations because, as I have put it, analysts were smoking something. And they were completely out of touch with Tesla. Their earnings expectations for Tesla over the last 4 quarters were so far off, it was ridiculous. This time around, I think they're finally catching on, but I still think that they're a little bit conservative. Estimated earnings per share on Tesla on Wednesday after hours is at 56 cents, and I think that they actually still beat this. We've seen that Tesla has this expectation by the end of the year to sell 500,000 cars. I think they actually get to that point. It's actually given us a little bit of a gift on Friday, coming down to its support around $435 a share. And I think that we see a wild week leading up to earnings on Wednesday for Tesla. It's going to be pretty amazing to just see how this all reacts. And I mean, this has been reacting a little bit to the market overall because there hasn't been a catalyst for Tesla. But leading up to Wednesday, I think there's going to be a lot of investors that are not going to want to be out of this stock going into earnings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hype train's going to be real on this one.
Yes.
We're excited for earnings. You know, I think people are definitely late to the game. Isn't that how it always is with the analysts?
Yeah.
They're late to the game.
Some of the upgrades are just cracking me up. When you see Tesla upgrades that are like, oh, we're going from 225 to 275. And it's like, bro, it's at 450. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, outside of Cathie Wood, everybody loves some Cathie Wood. Yeah. The analysts have been a little bit hesitant as far as Tesla's concerned, but it does feel like they know now the hype is real. But I mean, we already know that Tesla's going to be doubling capacity. Yeah. And so like, that's only going to increase. And we've mentioned how we're astonished how quickly that they can build these freaking, these factories. Yeah. Right. And so they're just going to continue to widen their lead. Their factories are going to continue to increase production. We're going to talk about the 500,000 vehicle number. But next year, it's going to be interesting what number they put out. I mean, can they double that? Can they do 1 million next year?
Well, and that's an interesting topic that you bring up because, I mean, we've talked about how they've been smashing expectations all the while during a pandemic, while, production was otherwise throttled. Because imagine if everything was fine and we didn't have to worry about the Rona. If they didn't have to worry about any of that, where would Tesla be by the end of the year this year? So I think that 2021 could be a huge year for the company, especially as we start getting things back to quote unquote normal.
2021 2022.
Yeah.
It is astonishing how they've powered through this pandemic like it was nothing. So I think we forget that. I forget that until you just said it.
Yeah.
But how they're operating. And again, you know, to the point many make is it's not a traditional car company. Tesla is a monster. It's a tech company. It's, you know, it's just something different. It's maybe in its own category, but the good news is most of us are in Tesla, should be in Tesla if you're not, but now we have to answer the question, what are we going to expect from earnings this week, Wednesday after hours? And shameless plug for our Wednesday live stream. We're going live for the earnings reaction. But what should we expect? What are we looking for? How do we play earnings? So what are your thoughts on that, Brad?
So, you know, as I said, I think that analysts are still really conservative on Tesla. We've already heard about record sales again this past quarter. So that just kind of gives us a little bit of a sneak peek. But I think one thing that everybody keeps forgetting about too is the solar side of things. And you brought this up about how Tesla is a tech company, and it's like they're not just a car company. They're about to blow away the automotive industry, but they're also about to blow away the energy industry as well. And we've already seen about how solar energy has just taken absolutely off over the past couple of weeks. We saw some of the ETFs going crazy, as well as some of the high-powered, very reputable companies as it relates to solar just going off the rails. And everybody's sleeping on Tesla as far as that's concerned, unless you're an investor of Tesla and you know the company very well. So you combine that with the record auto sales, and I think that this spells a huge recipe for a really nice move up. So 56 cents a share, I think, is conservative. I would like to see, and I think that we do see around 67 cents a share for Tesla this time around.
Oh, that's good. So in honor of our dear friend Steve King,
we're back.
Did you get my number?
No, sorry. I think we're back. Let me just double check. We're back,
Yeah.
right? I think we're back.
All right.
But your
So in
audio
honor of
is- hold
Steve
on.
King, 69 cents a share.
69 cents a share. That I'll take that. I'll take that. It sounds like your audio is a little bit off though. It's a little raspy. Let me see here.
Test, check.
Yeah, we're just giving it a sec here.
My audio is still raspy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on, let me try this.
Android.
How's it?
It's a little better.
You might have to roll solo, friend.
Oh, that's much better. It's much better.
All right.
I think we're back. Steve King, thanks for nothing. Yeah, so we're going to go with 69 cents a share is what Fat Man Zoom's expectations were on that. So if you guys want to tune in and get our live reaction on that, then be sure to tune in here. Hit the subscribe button and tune in live with us and get our live reaction on Wednesday. We'll be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern time, sticking around and watching those earnings go through on Wednesday, and we will see what happens. As always, though, we always talk about how earnings are kind of a crapshoot, so to speak. If they beat earnings, but the outlook isn't great, then the market's going to react accordingly. But historically, we've seen monster moves out of Tesla. And so if you want to scale out of some and take some profits, if you are profitable, then obviously there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to hold on to some to just kind of see where it goes, if you can afford the risk, then I think that the risk here is probably worth the reward. So if you want to come check us out, make sure you're tuning into us on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'd love to see you guys there. And let's get into the top stocks that we're watching throughout this week, my man.
All right. So we got top 5 stocks we're watching this week. So, if you're not familiar with this, every week we make market predictions. Typically, they're around earnings. We talk about 5 stocks that we got our eye on. Do a little fun, have predictions, and then on Fridays we actually do a video. It's called "Where I Was Right, Where I Was Wrong," where we see if we're right or wrong. So we got first up is on you, brother, Fastly.
Yes. So let me go ahead and switch over to Fastly here. I'm going to switch over to Webull. This is actually the public account I use for all of our Chaos Crew, folks. So if you guys want to be part of the Chaos Crew and get access to this public portfolio and the daily changes that I make, as well as a daily watch list, make sure you're hitting that join button. You guys can see some of the icons next to their names. They are part of the Chaos Crew. We love our Chaos Crew fam. Love you guys hanging out with us as well. And if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you're hitting the join button and help support the channel. But yeah, we are getting on to Fastly here, and it's been a rough go for it. I called this drop, though. If you guys, got into Fastly, and were watching me on Twitter, I was saying right before this drop that Fastly was a sell, and I mean, I love Fastly, so it's not that I was hating on the stock. It was just that this thing went up too fast, it went up too high, and then the bottom dropped out of it on the slightest negative catalyst, and sure enough, this had a major gap down. And it continued to fall on Friday, or on Thursday, rather, when we were talking about it. People were asking us on Thursday if we should buy into Fastly, and I said, just wait until we actually see some real buying return on this stock. I don't see a spot where we have actually settled down into a relatively decent support just yet, and I think it's entirely possible that we actually see this fall down even more, even possibly into the $70 range. For me, I think if it falls down to the $70 range, it is absolutely worth a buy. You can see here at $75 a share is an absolute monster of a support. Let me go ahead and mark this here using the Webull app, or the Webull desktop app, actually. If you guys are interested in this and creating a Webull account or using the Webull platform, there's a link in the description. You guys get 2 free stocks through Own the Chaos, and we'd love to have you guys support in that as well. You have to make sure you fund your account with $100, but either way, you get two free stocks valued up to $1,600, which is a pretty cool deal. And so this is definitely a buy for me if it comes down to a reasonable level. And I'm not sure the selling is done just yet on this one. I still love it. I still think that this, as it relates to remote work, is going to absolutely go crazy. And I think $136 a share, where it was at its height, was probably going to get to that point, but I don't think it deserved to be at that point at this time. So as they continue to develop larger clients and not rely so much on the TikTok stuff, then I think that Fastly is going to continue to move up. I think $100 a share is certainly achievable from this, but I think that it's actually worth a little bit more, a closer look once it gets down into the $70 range.
Yeah, absolutely. Fastly was one that I think blindsided a lot of people, even especially in our crew.
Yeah.
But we did talk about it. You did mention how it was high. Now, if they didn't heed your advice, that's not on us. But I was surprised at how quickly it fell. I wasn't surprised that it went down, but it's an opportunity. It's about when does the opportunity present itself. And I agree with you. I don't think it's done dropping. The question in my mind, and I'll kick this back to you, is it more likely, does it hit 100 before it hits 75?
Yeah.
Because I think it hits 75 before it hits 100.
I think so too. And I think that, like I said, we haven't really seen any kind of slowing down of the selling here since the major gap down. And, we always talk about, grabbing the dip, buying a dip on things, on good companies where it makes sense. And right now it just doesn't make sense still. I think we just got to see some area of some sort of consolidation, some sort of actual pattern here that represents some sort of bullish move back up. Right now, it's just not there. And really kind of just looking at these technicals, it makes all of the sense in the world to kind of go down here and kind of watch this at the $75 range. I think that's going to be the real sweet spot for this. And we always talk about it in our Chaos Crew about being rip-off Rita and kind of looking for the cheap stuff. And I don't think we're there just quite yet with Fastly, but I would love to grab this below $80.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is I am looking at that too. I am eyeing that 75 range, seeing if it holds support at $75 a share.
Yeah.
And if it goes up without me, then that's fine. We've said that before. It can run up without us. But I do think it's likely it could even go further. That's a question people ask. How much further can it go? It was down over 30%, I think 38% last week. It can go down much further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don Fran, who's one of our brethren, and I don't know if he's in here now, but he's usually in here, it can go down to zero.
Yeah.
That's where the stock can go. So, the big keys is market share and how client acquisition. So right now, TikTok accounts for 12% of their revenue share.
Yep.
which is a lot for a company. That's a lot to rely on one company. And then the instability of the parent company ByteDance with TikTok, that creates question marks. And obviously they lowered their guidance. But with all that being said, Brad, we'll see. But I think that's one of our predictions. I think it hits 75. Well, my prediction, 75 this week, below 80.
Yep. And then it would be a clear buy for me. And if you guys are wanting to know when we are actually eyeing this up as a buy, make sure you're hitting the Chaos Crew. Hit us up on the Chaos Crew. I'm sure it'll show up on that watch list sometime this week if we see it fall down to those levels.
All right. Let's talk about an earnings stock. So stock number 2 is Snapchat, a Chaos Crew favorite. It has been on our watch list for who knows how long, months.
We love this stock. We love this company.
Yeah, and it was on our top stock for September. It's been moving well. So Snapchat reports earnings on October 20th, which is Tuesday after hours. They're estimated a loss of 5 cents a share. I am predicting that they beat slightly at a loss of 3 cents a share. What do you got, Brad?
Ooh, it's playing it conservative, playing it safe here. So for me,
you're going to beat positive numbers, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to go positive on Snapchat. I think Snapchat comes up and goes cash positive for the first time, and I think that they crush earnings. Reason being is I think that we are starting to see a little bit of a shift. We talked about Snapchat at length, and we haven't really mentioned this before, but a large percentage, a huge percentage of Americans between the ages of 18 and 30 use Snapchat. And I'm talking hundreds of millions of people. And if there's anything that, we talk about using common sense a lot of times. And try not to be so analytical all the time and throw numbers at you. Just think about this. If you're a Snapchat user, have you not seen a dramatic increase in ads on all the stuff that you're looking at in that Snapchat app? Well, I'm talking about just the stories in general. Like the ads have been showing up like crazy, and it's almost annoying. And so when you start to see more stuff like that and you're starting to see ad revenue come in, I think that we're just going to see an absolute bludgeoning of these expectations. Not only that, but we've also mentioned about how Snapchat has their VR side of things, where we talked about Louis Vuitton and how they were able to use that technology to basically you could try all of their products using their filters, and I think that is just absolutely amazing. I think it reaches a lot of customers that way, and it's only going to increase from here. I think they end up being cash positive, and we talk about this one and Pinterest being the little brother sister to Facebook and some of the bigger social media apps, and I think that they are really starting to come into their own. I like Snapchat a lot.
Yeah, we both like Snapchat, big fans of it from a business perspective, opportunity growth perspective. Some data I want to give you guys. So this is according to the Pew Research Center, and I actually brought this up during earnings last time, but it's important to remember. Yeah, Snapchat reaches 90% of 13 to 24-year-olds.
It's incredible.
And 73% of Americans 18 to 24 use Snapchat. And so those are key metrics to think about. Additionally, 300 to 500,000 Snapchatters turn 18 every month, which is crazy. So when you think about those numbers, why is that important, Fat Man Zoom? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. The reason why it's important is because advertisers, they're thinking about the lifetime value of the customer. If they can the younger they get them, the greater the lifetime value of the customer is and the loyalty. And so this is great. Yeah. Companies are going to be chomping at their bit to get at these Snapchatters. So that's reason number one. Augmented reality is at the forefront of their plan. I think I applaud them for trying to take a different path, not just a traditional follow what everybody else does. Their priorities are a little bit different. They're trying to really establish themselves in the augmented reality and the Bitmoji world. You can start seeing the parts of that we talked about the Gucci partnership where you can try on your stuff virtually. Yep. And also Apple partnership. When we saw the Apple event last week, Snapchat was mentioned for the phone's ability to work with Snapchat and how they're partnering with them on augmented reality on their new phone. So all that stuff's great. And the biggest thing right now for advertisers is a focus on direct response advertising. That movement, especially with holiday season coming up, Snapchat's the place for advertisers to be.
Yep, I could not agree more. And I mean, even if they end up missing or they still end up being, in the negative here, I still think Snapchat's a buy. If it gives you any kind of good opportunities, potentially maybe down in the 26.50 area, if by some chance this actually misses earnings, I think that it would still be an absolute gift. Just a friendly reminder, last quarter they did miss earnings. And if you were able to capitalize on this when we said that this was a clear buy and that it was actually finally starting to settle out and create a nice little sideways channel for the move back up, it was done at $21 a share and then moved all the way up almost 30% here up to highs of 28.50. So I think that even if they miss, it's still going to be a buy. The growth that Snapchat's experiencing is absolutely incredible. So this is going to be definitely one to hang on to, whether or not they make or miss earnings this time around. But it's going to be fun to watch this one on Tuesday. All right, so we got 374 of you in here watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you guys could give us a thumbs up, we certainly would appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and get on to our next one, which is Netflix. And Netflix has earnings coming out on Tuesday after hours. Their estimated earnings per share are at $2.12. This is going to be an interesting one for me because management said back in July that much of the growth is simply borrowed from future quarters because obviously the Rona, right? And so we've seen some exponential growth on this one as I'm pulling this up as far on Webull here, and it has just been an absolute monster. We look at the daily chart, continues to go up. It seems to be one of the biggest hang-ups on this seems to be right around 575. And so we'll see if this actually runs up to those earnings on Tuesday after hours to that 575 range. If it does, and you happen to grab it down here in the 530s, that is something that I would probably honestly consider taking some profit on. If you want to hold on to some shares going through earnings, that, be my guest. But here's the thing about Netflix. Historically, the reaction to earnings on Netflix has not been great, even if they beat earnings. Last 2 quarters, they ended up beating earnings, and it fell flat. And so this is going to be very interesting. The biggest, I think, the biggest factor here is going to be growth as far as subscribers are concerned. They're expecting around 2.5 million new users, new subscribers to Netflix. I actually think that they do beat this, but this is what worries me, and that is going to be content creation. If they come out with an outlook that says, you know what, we're really struggling with content creation because we've been backed up because of the Rona, haven't been able to have our actors in here, haven't been able to get anything going on content creation as far as creating new content, that may be detrimental to the platform. We'll see if that actually comes to light this coming quarter. I've actually kind of been a proponent of this area of concern for the last couple quarters since the Rona, and so I'm just worried about that. But we'll see what happens here. I like Netflix. I think they come in at $2.17 a share as far as Netflix is concerned. What you got, my man?
So you have 217. All right. So Netflix, I have beating. I have at 222 a share. Some metrics that stood out to me for Netflix. So they had 2.5 estimated new subs projected for this quarter versus 10 million quarter 2, 16 million quarter 1.
Yeah.
Not beautiful, not great. Now, a lot of analysts are expecting that number 2.5 to be low. So if that, I think that's going to come in at 3.5 million. But if it does, that bodes well. That's something to keep an eye on as the new subs. But it's obviously concerning the numbers that are going down. You expect them to go down, but that's pretty drastic.
Yeah.
Keys, content pipeline. You've been preaching about new content for a while. We know there's no content right now, but they've got to give us some outlook on content. Guidance, always really important, and market share. Hopefully they can sort of exhibit that, companies like Disney, they can coexist.
Yeah.
And it's not eating to their market share. So like people are cutting the cord, but maybe they're keeping Disney and Netflix or 2 or 3 of those services. So they got to show that the rise in Disney and their competitors that are streaming and the ones that are coming aren't eating away at their market share. So those are going to be the keys as we look at Netflix. I think they beat, but I do see this having a pretty solid pullback. I think it's going to be really hard for them to give hope to their investors. So I think this is going to come down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, with 2.5 million, it seems like it's quite a drop off. And I think that's almost kind of like a slap in the face considering what they have done in the previous quarters. So, sure. I mean, I think they beat, and but I'm agreeing with you. I think that we do see some sort of drop off here as far as the price is concerned. I think we see a run up going into earnings, and we'll probably likely see a sell off after earnings. But it's still definitely one to watch for, and make your plays based off of those sentiments. And I mean, I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I mean, I'm hopeful for Netflix. I think they come in and see some solid growth, but I just have a lot of concerns about them.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next stock we have is CMG, Chipotle. So they have earnings estimated at $3.40 a share. They're Wednesday after hours. So this is, hospitality wise, I think there's this top tier of stocks you can look at. So I put Chipotle at the top with Starbucks, with Domino's. There may be one or two others in there, but like those three, I look at and I'm like, damn, they do it right.
Yeah.
And so Chipotle is built for the pandemic. They're an efficient company that manages costs really well, great balance sheet, great fundamentals. And so I think they have a monster quarter. $3.82 a share is what I'm predicting.
$3.82 a share. That's quite a beat. But I don't think it's crazy. I'm usually the one coming up with the bold predictions here, but that seems like it's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number. And here's the thing about Chipotle. They've been able to just make this amazing pivot. We saw that Domino's was kind of already set up for something like this. And we saw, a lot of the other companies that kind of were already focused on delivery that were really set up and did well. Same store sales and all that stuff nobody really cared about, but Chipotle, the manner in which they were able to pivot and kind of really react accordingly and see the kind of growth that we saw from them has been absolutely amazing. And you can see on the chart here where in September, when everything kind of came down, this came down and reached a support at 1193. It closed on Friday at 1339. I think this is still going to be buy. I think we see a run into earnings here. I do think that they also beat. I was having them come in at 363 a share. But you know what, man? The more that I'm thinking about it, I think you're probably going to be end up being closer than I am on this one as far as Chipotle is concerned. I think we do see a Domino's like beat from them, and Domino's missed. But I mean, as far as growth is concerned, I think that we see that kind of growth from them. But I think Chipotle has done a much better job at making sure, as far as cost is concerned and how it's affecting their bottom line, I think they'll be doing a much better job at that. And I think they do end up coming in and beating them pretty handily. Chipotle has just been an amazing company. And man, if they can survive something like this, they deserve a higher valuation.
Well, and real quick, they did make a really quick pivot to capitalize off pandemic and focus on drive-throughs. Yeah. So we should hear about that now. Maybe not the numbers are reflecting in it, but the guidance should reflect in it. So hope to hear news from that. If they give good news on that, this stock will move.
Yeah, 1384 is the all-time high. I think that if we do see that, we should see an easy break over those 1384 highs. That'll be pretty amazing. All right, so next and last here we have is something interesting, and I don't know if anybody has been really paying attention to Tractor Supply, but TSC has been just a staple in this little area of just agriculture and tractor supplies and stuff and everything in that area. The company is amazing. If you want to compare it to another company, it's kind of in the same vein, but not really. But they do things that are similar. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I keep it. My mind just completely went blank. But I like to compare them to Costco. And the reason is because the way that they treat their employees, the way that they run their company, and the way that they issue dividends, it's all very similar. And that's what I was trying to say, that Tractor Supply isn't exactly like a Costco, but the way that they run their company is very similar to Costco. And that's why I like the company a lot. And I like the fact that Jose Matute just brought up that it looks like a cup, because that is what really got me excited about Tractor Supply as well. This looks like a really nice cup and handle pattern here. And if we get a breakup over 155, look out on Tractor Supply. I think we see a really nice move from this thing. It has done absolutely amazing since the pandemic. And I think that they've just will continue to crush it here. They have started to break into e-commerce as well as their mobile app. It's pretty amazing when you start to think about, agricultural supplies, and that they're also breaking into the technology that the likes of Walmart and Costco and all the other ones have, the curbside pickups and that sort of thing. They've been able to pivot quite well. No surprise to me as far as Tractor Supply is concerned. They come in on what is this 22nd, so that's Thursday. Pre-market at 135 is the estimate from analysts. I think they come in and beat this. I think they come in at 147 is what my predictions are for Tractor Supply. I like them a lot. Let's see here. Well, look at my notes here. Looking to add at 281.8 million, and that's what they have in their cash position. A lot of people were concerned about their debt, and I don't think that has anything to do with how well the company is being run, just because of all the cash that they do have on hand. There is a such thing as having good debt and bad debt. Tractor Supply knows what they're doing, and they're using that debt to just continue to build and grow their company, and I don't think that'll affect their bottom line at all.
Yeah. I echo those sentiments. I have estimates. I have a beat at 150. I don't know. I was feeling good. This week. I felt like last week I was really unsure of myself. Conservative. I went all for it, and I believe in it just simply for the fact of the projects, right? Like I'll take Costco. I agree with that example. And I actually liken it also to like an AutoZone.
Yeah.
And so that, the rural aspect of it, the retail aspect of it, my thoughts are like, all the benefits of the things that are outdoors or outside or getting out of your house, like any activities to just keep your sanity.
Right.
I think a company like this benefits. So I think that they are going to beat. I think that they're going to beat quite easily. So look forward to that. We'll check that out. With that being said, if you like these are our top 5 for the week. We'll be posting a video on Friday evening to let you know where we got it right, where we got it wrong, but I'm sure we're going to bat 1,000 on that one. If you like this, listen, we have a Chaos Crew. It's $5 to join. We give a daily watch list of top 5 stocks every morning that Brad sends out of what we're watching when the market opens. So click the join button on the channel next to subscribe, and you'll get that watch list from us. Brad, how many people do we have in the live stream? How are we looking?
We got 400 people in the live stream right now, 110 likes. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. If we get the likes up, certainly would appreciate it. Just help support the channel that much further. We got a donation from Todd Landon. Appreciated, Todd. Thanks for the $5. He says, guys, just a quick recap, down and dirty. So we have, let me just run it down real quick. We got Fastly, Snap, Netflix, Chipotle, and Tractor Supply, TSC. I think all of these are going to be ones definitely to watch out for. Hope you guys got that. And let's move on to kind of one of our favorite parts of Stock Watch Sunday, and that is your guys' questions. What do you guys got? What are you watching this week? And if you have questions about it, make sure you're putting in the chat. We'll make sure to get to them. And let's go ahead and get started with that.
Oh, yeah, the cheesecloth condom pick of the week. We can never forget that. Thank you, Andrew G. What is the cheesecloth condom pick of the week?
So if you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about, the cheesecloth condom came from a joke that I had on some stock that I was just super bearish on, and everybody was going on and on about it. And this week, it's going to be Hertz. Hertz came back into the limelight because the Robin Hooders, all the stockholders in the Hertz, we're going crazy off of this thing because they got some funding, but they are still a trash company. The people that caught this run up, congrats to you. You did well. It ain't going to last for too much longer. If you made money and you took profit, great. If you're still in this thing thinking it's going to take you to the moon and it's going to change your zip code, change your life, you're going to buy Lambos and fly them to the moon, you're sadly mistaken. Please don't hold on to this thing. and make your money and get out. But people were all over Twitter just going nuts on Hertz saying, hey, I told you so, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, get the hell out of here. It's still bankrupt. It's still trash stock. And it is my cheesecloth condom pick of the week.
All right, let's get into these questions. First question, we got Griffin Garrett. What's going on, Griffin? Have you guys checked out SRAC at all the new space companies?
SPC.
Oh, have you checked it out at all? It's a new space company.
Another space company? No, I haven't checked it out, but it looks abysmal. This chart looks crazy. Space travel company Momentous catches Adam Jonas ahead of the public listing. Yeah, I'm not gonna subscribe to this. No, gonna pass on that one.
Vishal Vishwakarma asked, do you think Facebook goes down during election time?
Real quick, just wanted to welcome Evaluate Formulate to the Chaos Crew, and thanks for one Dali for the donate. Thanks so much. So as far as the election's concerned, we actually talked about this on Thursday a little bit. And really within our Chaos Crew, our private Q&A, we talked about it on Friday as well. The election, I don't think it's really going to matter a whole lot. We're going to see lots of volatility, okay, lots of it. But I'm not sure it's really going to matter who gets in. I think we're still going to see a wild move in 2021. I think it's going to be a banner year for the stock market. We have tons of cash sitting on the sidelines. And even if the market corrects at the end of the year, whoever gets in, whether it's Biden or whether it's Trump, the market's going to be fine. We're going to probably see maybe a drop off if people are really concerned about too many taxes on corporations and how that affects their bottom line, which also would affect earnings. And so maybe people will be scared about that. But there's also this other underlying thing where if Biden gets in is that their relationship with China and a lot of the other foreign entities where huge companies such as Apple, Nike, Starbucks, and the like do business in those areas. And so if relationships improve there, maybe investors start really getting more excited about that. So there's all kinds of things that I think are actually in the favor of the stock market going up, then no matter which president actually gets elected. So I think it'll be just fine. Nothing really to worry about, in my opinion. And I'm almost exhausted about answering the question at this point.
Daniel Stonker, what's going on? What website do I use to find earnings for all the stocks I'm trying to find them for?
Great question. So I use Yahoo Finance, Fatman Zoom, Lexus, CNBC, and there's also WeTrade HQ. We don't talk about it as much as we used to, and we probably should get more in the habit of doing that. But WeTradeHQ.com, you can actually go there and search your favorite tickers, and it gives you all the information you need on that specific company. It has your filings, your earnings reports, all that good stuff. We'll be there at WeTradeHQ.com. It's all free. Go check it out. We'd love to have you guys over there.
Kia, hey, Brad, thank you for the great advice. I have a question about AT&T. They have earnings on Thursday and they've been dumping for a while. I'm interested in possibly starting a position. Any thoughts?
Yeah, real quick. Praveen Raj, welcome to the Chaos Crew. What was that ticker again?
AT&T.
Oh, AT&T. So AT&T is something that I probably would end up staying away from. It has just not done well despite all the other good news as far as 5G is concerned. If I was to choose one, I'm going after Verizon. I think Verizon is a better play here. We already saw how Apple's working very closely with Verizon as far as 5G is concerned based off of their latest iPhone 12 event. And so if I had a choice between the two, I'm going Verizon all the way. I mean, really, when you look at something like AT&T anyways, you're not looking for something for any kind of extreme growth, right? Because AT&T has grown about as much as it can, along with Verizon. So if you're looking to invest in these companies, it's usually because you're looking at good dividends. And what's the dividend payout going to be like? And AT&T has a relatively decent one. Their yield is 52 cents a share. So, I mean, I think that this would be a good one for a dividend portfolio, but I don't think it's going to be a good one if you're looking for growth.
All right, next question we have is from Oscar Sunchin. What do y'all think about PEIX? So they make alcohol for hand sanitizer. The question is it too hot to buy at this point? I feel like hand sanitizer use ain't going anywhere for the next year.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned boner candles in the stream yet, but there are boner candles all over this thing. And if it's one thing that we talk about, it's not chasing them. So this has gone up, oh my God, like over 1,000% since July. And it's too hot. It really is. I think that if you're looking for this, if you really believe in the company and you see this as a good quality company, then great. Wait for it to pull back because it probably will. See if it comes back down to the $8 range and look for a bounce there. But I think that I would not be wanting to buy this at all-time highs at $10 a share.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat on your question, Miss Lucia said Earnings Whisperer for checking out earnings. We do use Earning Whisperer. Brad uses their Twitter to see when their earnings reports are. I confirm the numbers, the estimates from there as well.
Yep.
So Earnings Whisperer is a good one. All right, Steve King. The question is, I don't know if it's really a question, but Zoom has to cool off this week, right?
Yeah, you know what? Kat, speaking of boner candles, so Zoom has been something that we have loved, and I have been singing the praises of Zoom since, well under $100 a share. Was really into it at right around 100, the one teens, we should call it. But I think it's getting a little too hot at this point. Yes, I agree. I don't want to say what I think it's going to come down to, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think it comes back down to the low $500 range, if not $500 a share, before we start to see a move back up. $600 could be on the horizon, but this has been an insane move over the last couple of days, and I just think it's just too hot.
All right. Next question. GD Groot 8740. What's going on? Can Peloton go up more?
Oh, so this is the one big interesting thing that happened to Peloton on Friday. So Friday, it came out with news that 29 million bikes actually got recalled from Peloton. The bright side is that those bikes were manufactured between 2013 and 2016, so it's none of the new bikes, but it was a downturn nevertheless because of that. We look at this, it's come back down a little bit on Friday. I would like to see Peloton come back maybe to around 125 before I would consider this a potential buy, but it has been screaming at this point. They have a lot of good things going for them, so I hesitate to say that this is overvalued, but I think we're starting to get close. And I just think it deserves to come back down. And I don't know if I would be buying it here over 130. I'd wait to see see how much further it comes down.
All right. Next question we have is from King Bradicus. What's going on, King?
Got some of the OGs coming in here. What's up, man?
Yeah. With the increase in housing numbers, is it worth playing Whirlpool? They have earnings on Wednesday after market.
Yeah, so Whirlpool, ticker symbol WHR, priced at $200 a share, has done nothing but go straight up since their dividend, essentially, back in late August. This is one that actually outperformed the market in September, is continuing to outperform the market. I think that this is overhyped at this point, Brad. And I'm not saying that you can't play it and that they won't beat earnings, because I think that they will. When you consider, to your point, the amount of people who've been buying new homes, new home construction, all that good stuff, Whirlpool stands to benefit from that. And we've seen this with Home Depot, Wayfair, all these other home improvement companies, and Whirlpool, I think, is right up there. I just don't know if it's already made the move, and that's kind of something that's really concerning me. I don't know if we'll be buying it all the way up here. It's kind of scary. I would just wait, but if you can afford the risk, of course, take it. I know that you know what you're doing, Brad, so I got all the faith in you there. But yeah, that's kind of my sentiments on that. Ray, thanks for the donate, man.
Next question, Melissa H. Hey guys, I'm looking at BYND for a swing trade. I think it's setting nicely at 183. Thoughts? What's going on, Melissa?
What's up, Melissa? Yeah, so this has come down. I don't know if it's come down enough yet. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and check this out. The daily doesn't give us a whole lot. Yeah, I think at 180 is probably reasonable. I mean, it went all the way up to $200 a share, just about.
That sucker was on fire.
It was unbelievable, and it needed to cool off. I still think that this is overvalued at 180, but looking at the chart, I think it actually seems reasonable to see it at 180. Just wait to see if it actually holds that area. If it holds that support and we start to see a move back up, might spell another bullish move for BYND.
Yeah, and like we always say, scale in. So scale in, you could potentially get another opportunity if it continues to go down and get it at, looks like below $165 a share. Obviously, you don't want that, but at least you're hedging your bets, and this sucker is volatile as well. So we shall see. Next question we have Mattis. Oh, another OG, Mattis Dixit. One of your stocks, Brad. Work is back in action after they released audio and video. Is it a buy now? So Work is Slack.
Yes. So Slack has actually started to actually got bought back up really over the last week and kind of cooled off on Friday with the rest of the market. But it does look like it's much better than what it was in its last earnings. I still like Slack as a company. Their CEO is kind of whack, but It is what it is. They, plummeted from $35 a share all the way down to the low 20s after their most recent earnings. And I think they're starting to make a move back up. I think people are really starting to see the long-term outlook on Slack and that they may very well potentially be the future. Spotify is a huge proponent of them. They keep pushing them all over the place. That company just loves the hell out of work or out of Slack technologies. And I think they do end up doing well in the long run. But be careful because I think this has moved up quite a bit recently.
Yep, we got a new member to the Chaos Crew, Joker Inc.
What's up, man?
There we go. Welcome to the crew. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, we did talk about, Antonio, we talked about the elections. We've talked about it a lot with the Chaos Crew. There will be volatility, but we're going to actually come out with a video or do a live stream talking about which stocks we would consider looking at depending on each party winning. So on which party wins. So we'll get on that. Sean Dupius, what's up, Sean? Red Bear, AMD got an upgrade in earnings or next week, looking to swing this week. Do you see them going? Do you see them running into earnings?
Yes. Actually, I ended up buying AMD on the dip on Friday in the public portfolio for the Chaos Crew, and we'll continue to scale into this thing, but I like AMD as a buy here for sure.
Satoshi Naka FOMO's in your name. If FOMO is in your handle, I'm worried. How long do I have to hold a stock to collect dividends on it, and what time period?
So there's an X dividend date, and as long as you own the stock before that X dividend date, you're good. That's pretty much it.
Yep. And then you can find that on any of the platforms, CNBC, Yahoo. When you click on the ticker, it'll say the ex-dividend date on there. We had another question. Okay, so Will Hopley, any thoughts on Intel earnings? INTC.
Would you like me to let you take the lead on this one? I know you like yourself some INTC.
Yeah. You could pull up the chart. I mean, so the story on INTC is it got beat down last earnings. And so obviously AMD and NVIDIA are their competitors, and AMD and NVIDIA are moving forward, where it feels like INTC is moving back. They had a delay on their chip. They lost their account with Apple. So there's a lot of negative things going on. However, I don't think this is a long-term indictment on Intel. So I've got to look more, and I'll have an answer for everybody when it comes up. Probably on Tuesday, it'll be one of the stocks we talk about, but what my prediction will be on it. I'm not expecting a great earnings where they blow anything out of the water by any means. But again, like we continue to say, it's about forward outlook. And they know they have to provide optimism. And I still believe in that company. So I think INTC is a good opportunity if you have a long time horizon. It already started moving up. As you can see, it's sort of in an upward trend. We'll see if it can break above that $55.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to get back up. So hopefully this is what is the start of a new trend.
Yeah, I don't hate Intel either. I like them as a company. They just got to figure out how to catch up with their competition because AMD, NVIDIA, they are running away with it. So if Intel somehow comes out on earnings and gives us something positive to say, yes, we're playing catch up and we're good, nothing to worry about. We have a really good outlook for 2021 or leading into the end of the year. That's really what I'm looking for as far as Intel is concerned, because that's the biggest worry. Because AMD, NVIDIA, all the other chip manufacturers are just running away with it, especially now that Apple's dumped them and everything else. So they have a lot of hurdles to jump here. Pretty big challenges ahead. Can they handle them? That's what we're looking for on the latest earnings report coming up.
Yeah, and I would argue that they're just not doing a good job of their PR, because I would argue that they have opportunity. I think they're going to be a player in autonomous vehicles. I think they are, and I don't think they're doing a good job of giving the outlook on it and promoting it, right? Like self-promoting. Google does the same thing. Jim Cramer talks about how Google has incredible earnings, but their leadership doesn't know how to deliver a presentation to provide optimism. Intel does the same thing. It's like, if you mention autonomous vehicles, people are going to go nuts.
Yeah.
But they never talk about it. So I'm hoping in the earnings we hear more about what their plans are with autonomous vehicles. But they are making moves in there. I think that's going to be a huge opportunity. So we'll see how all that goes. We got a couple more questions.
We got 475 of you in here, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. We love having you guys in here.
What's up, Sony? Sony asks thoughts on Amazon, that beautiful, beautiful beast.
So Amazon has earnings not this week, but next week. And Amazon, I think, gave us a gift on Friday. With the rest of the market coming down, it came down to around 32.67 in after hours on Friday and got as low as 31.55. And I think this is going to be one that was just an absolute gift. People were asking me about this in the Chaos Crew. They're asking us in our mentorship as well. And I said 3,100 would be kind of where I'm looking at. And it just happened to spike down below that, or spike down into the $3,100 range. And this is an absolute gift. Fat Man and I have been calling $4,000 a share on Amazon by the end of the year, and I think that they do that, and I almost think they do that rather easily, especially coming up with these earnings that we're going to be seeing next week.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the earnings next Sunday. That's definitely going to be a topic of conversation for Amazon. Yeah. I expect profit take. I expect to run into it. I expect profit taking. It'll see where we're at. So if we're at I believe we should be around that $3,500 mark.
Yeah.
If we're around there, I think there's going to be some profit taken. I think it's going to pull back to the 3,200. It could get back to 3,000. If it goes back to 3,000 or below, buy it. Yes, buy it. Yes. Absolutely buy it, because we're not going to see it again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that 3,200, this is a really nice level here, and I expect to see a run up on that. But I mean, what can you say about it? It's just a beast. We talked about Prime Day. I hope they have numbers, at least initial numbers from Prime Day, because by all accounts, the vendors on Amazon made bank. Yeah. So, that wasn't even supposed to happen. Prime Day is supposed to be in July, and now they have that in addition to holiday season coming up. The numbers should be great, and their outlook should be phenomenal, especially because everybody's talking about a third wave. So that bodes well for Amazon. They're just going to continue to run. I can't wait till 4K. Can't wait.
This is a buy and hold, not trade type of stock.
Absolutely. Thanks for that question, Sony. So that's it for the questions. I do want to get to recap the football picks for last week.
Okay.
So you had picked the Seahawks and I had picked the Saints. Both teams won. They were both great games. They're both tight games. My differential was 12 years with 17. So it pains me, but I won again.
Yeah, I'm not so good with the point spread all that much.
But you picked a winner, and that's always good.
Yeah.
So the games that we have, you know what? Who do we have? So we have tonight and tomorrow. So tonight's game, by the way, everybody, if you like football, if there's any Tennessee Titans fans,
God damn,
you are lucky.
Derrick Henry
with that man, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Damn. What a beast. He did work wonders for my fantasy football team this week too.
Yeah, you have him on there. He's definitely looking good. So tonight we have Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco. You can pick from that game, or who do we have on the Monday night game?
It's Chiefs, Bills, and then someone else, I think.
Chiefs, Bills. Yep. So let's look at those two. I'll defer to you. Which game do you want to pick on?
I will take Chargers, Rams.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to say Chargers win.
Oh, I think that's right. I think that's right. What's the score?
I love that man, Air Bear. The score is going to be a low one. I think both defenses are very, very good. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I think 17-20.
Wow, that is a low scoring game. I said that's a good call. I wouldn't be surprised if San Fran upsets, but they got a tough go at it. All right, so then I'll take the Chiefs, Bills.
We got San Diego Chargers. It's LA Chargers.
LA Chargers.
They're both playing in the same stadium. They're both playing at home.
I'll take Chiefs Bills. Let's move on to my pick. This is all about me. I'll take Chiefs Bills, and I'm gonna take Chiefs. Obviously, they're both coming off a loss. Bills are killing it. Bills Mafia, shout out. However, Chiefs aren't losing 2 in a row. Who are you guys kidding?
Yeah, it's not happening.
I do think it's going to be a great game, and I will take the Chiefs. Oh man, what am I going to take the Chiefs at? 32-28.
32-28. I like that. I like that. That's going to be, I think it'll be a close game. I think Josh Allen gets back on that horse.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully I'll keep my winning streak, although I think you have a better shot at doing that. But what matters most is the stock market, and hopefully the crew keeps its winning streak going.
That's right.
Do you see what I did there?
I hear you guys. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. If you guys could give us a like on the way out, we certainly would appreciate it. And make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't joined the Chaos Crew yet, also hit the join button next to there. Help support the channel. Also gives you a daily watch list from us, as well as private live streams, and you get public access to my portfolio, which, by the way, has outperformed the S&P 500 20% to 3% of this past month. So I am damn proud of that portfolio.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't forget about the mentorship.
Yeah, and if you want to be part of the mentorship, links in the description as well. Promo code Halloween20. You get a free 30 days there. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We certainly love you. And we will see you on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Be there. That's it for me, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Shout out to Veloy. See you guys.